is Jane Curtin with news of the creative spirit. This just in, more on our continuing story from Italy of what is being called the Renaissance. The creative spirit has struck once again. Paolo Uccello has just introduced perspective into painting. While many Italians report that they can live without perspective in their paintings, still others believe that Paolo may be onto something. It's seeing things in a new way, commented one citizen, and that's what creativity is all about. Reached at their home, Mrs. Uccello said she's very proud of her husband, but complaining that Paolo is so absorbed in his work that he refuses to come to bed. Being creative is fine, said Mrs. Uccello, but he's up all night, pacing back and forth and muttering, "What a beautiful mistress perspective is." Well, Paolo, congratulations on your discovery. We wish you luck. But please, go to bed. In a related story, students at Stanford University's Graduate School of Business are experimenting with ways of getting past that nasty little inner voice of judgment that keeps us from believing in our ideas.
What we're talking about when we're talking about judgment here is what we've always talked in this class about, which is the VOJ, which is the voice of judgment. And it's the thing that really stops us from recognizing our own creativity. And if you have enough strength of faith in your own creativity, you can begin to knock that voice of judgment down, knock down that voice of blame and criticism that we all really have to a greater or lesser extent going on in our minds. And once you're able to do that, then you can really see the world so that you get into precise observation. I think a very important part of dealing with the world in a problem-solving way, in a creative way, in a rich way, and being yourself in the world really is awareness and paying attention. And so what we ask people to do is just to recognize that this voice of judgment exists, that these obstacles exist. Well, today what we're going to do is allow that observation to give you an experience of your own creativity and also to push aside the voice of judgment, to allow you to still your mind. Because creativity really comes between the thoughts. And if you can still your mind, still the chattering of the voice of judgment, then you can begin to really see. And the first thing we should do, just to really relax and kind of settle the chatter of the mind, is to do 2 or 3 deep breaths. You breathe all the way up through your chest and into your shoulders. So we do an exercise that's a sensing, looking, and listening exercise. And that, paying attention to their body, really shuts down the mind. And when they're in that state, they're really in a heightened awareness state, and they also don't have all this mind chatter going on. Now sense everything. Sense your arms and legs, hands and feet, and just pay attention to all of those. And open your eyes and just look. And listen. Just listen. Now we're going to remain in this silence. I'd like you to go outside and find a natural object that appeals to you and bring it back in. In other words, what I mean is some natural, not man-made object. Anything that comes from nature. And just pay attention. Just get absorbed in what you've picked up outside. And get a piece of paper and just spend a few minutes to write all the uses that you can come up with for that object that you picked up outside. Whatever uses you can come up with for that. Don't worry about the voice of judgment. Don't worry about what anybody will think about it. To create is really the highest thing in life. And it's also, when you come right down to it, it's the most common thing in life. It's being alive.